morning. This is Rick Berscheid with the Natural Resources Conservation Service with your Conservation Report. Today I would like to talk to you about the monarch butterfly and pollinator habitat. Recently in the paper there was an article about the decline of monarch butterflies. NRCS has also recently released a monarch butterfly habitat development project report. And within this report, it was discussed different strategies to ensure the conservation of the monarch butterfly and also other strategies to help other pollinator species. Monarch butterfly migratory corridor stretches from Minnesota all the way down to Mexico. This corridor is split into two separate subregions for management strategies. Minnesota is part of the northern subregion, which includes 6 other states. So what conservation efforts can we do in our region to help conserve the monarch butterfly? Well, landowners are encouraged to plant beneficial species for monarchs and other pollinators. The adult monarch eats nectar from flowering plants and nests in the grass cover. Monarchs only lay their eggs on the milkweed plant, and they lay about 400 eggs, and they only lay 2 eggs per plant, so that's about 200 different plants that they visit. The newly hatched larvae also solely rely on the milkweed for food. In recent years, common milkweed has started to disappear, which has impacted the reproduction of the monarch butterfly. In the northern subregion, there's been an effort to focus on adding 3 species of milkweed to plantings, pollinator plantings, to establish more breeding habitat and feed for the larvae. And these, along with other flowers and grasses too, to help with the food and nesting areas. The milkweed species that are recommended to add to these plantings are the common milkweed, swamp milkweed, and the butterfly weed. There are several other species out there that are of common milkweed that are beneficial to monarchs that are out on the market as well. A typical pollinator planting will include a mixture of 3 to 5 pounds of native grasses and a mixture of 32 ounces or 2 pounds of forbs and flowers. And the forbs and flowers should be a mixture of different species that bloom at different times, so you want the planting to be in bloom throughout the entire summer. So you'd have something that blooms early, some in midsummer, and some in late summer to supply the food for the pollinators. And this is where we're encouraged to include these 3 different types of milkweed species to create better habitat for the monarch butterfly. So what's a good spot to plant a pollinator planting? Well, typically any spot's a good spot, just as long as it's not a sink. And a sink is where you'd plant a pollinator plot, as in you would attract pollinator species, and then they'd be exposed to insecticides and potentially get sprayed out. A great place to establish these pollinator plots are on odd areas of fields, edges of fields, idle cropland, edges of lot lines, along wood lines, or any other spot that you may have a spot to fit them in. And they can vary in size from a few square feet to several acres. For more information on establishing pollinator plots, stop by our office or give us a call at 320-251-7800, extension 3. This has been Rick Berscheid with your Conservation Report.